Ho, 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 Merry Christmas in July. Yes, this is the Sweet Pea Papers 4th annual Crafty Christmas in July celebration. It's going to run from July 1st to July 31st. This year has exploded. We have 25 collaborators this year, and that's going to be at least 100 videos for you. We're going to have a drawing, and that's going to be on August 1st at the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. You can post pictures at Sweet Pea Papers and also at Junk Journal Tutorials and more Facebook groups, and those will get you entries into the drawing, and we'll talk about that in just one sec. Some of the collaborators may have Facebook groups. Some of them do, some of them don't. So please go ahead and post your pictures there as well. And I will give you a hashtag in just a second, and you could use that hashtag, and then they'll know that you, well, of course, Christmas pictures in the middle of July, so I guess they'll know where you come from. But the links to the 25 collaborators are below the video, so make sure to go click on their links to their YouTube channels and see their videos in this event. Okay, now to enter the drawings, you post your pics of your Christmas projects using the Crafty Christmas in July 24 hashtag in the Sweet Pea Papers or the Junk Journal Tutorials and more Facebook groups. Now, if you're welcome to post them wherever you want, but only the ones posted at Sweet Pea Papers or Junk Journal Tutorials and more will get you entries into the drawing. Okay? And the drawing is going to be a merger of those two lists. We're not going to have two drawings. We're just going to have one drawing from Sweet Pea Papers, and it's going to be, the list is going to be comprised of all the posts on Sweet Pea Papers, all the posts in Junk Journal Tutorials and more, mixed together. Okay? And then we'll go from there. Now, yeah, so that's how we'll do that. And then each post equals one entry. So not picture, each post is one entry into the drawing. You can post in both groups at the same time and double your chances. So you can post the same picture in Sweet Pea Papers and in Junk Journal Tutorials and more and get 2 entries. All right, and this would not have been possible without our great designers, well, our collaborators especially, but our great designers who donated kits for the collaborators to use. And those designers are Line Dot Arrow, Cara Brandon Creations, Nonstop Paper Crafts, Crafty Dragon Creations, Natty and Moon, Studio 28 eJournal Creations, The Trucking Scribe, and Beauty and Books Co. Now, the links to these designers are below the video as well, but it's a Linktree link. So Linktree is where you can just click on one link, and like a tree, it branches out into all the other links. So you click on the Linktree link, and then there's links to all of these Etsy shops. Some of them are going to have the Christmas kits on sale. Some of them are going to have just regular old sales that you can take advantage of. And I also forgot to mention that every week at Sweet Pea Papers and Junk Journal Tutorials and more, we're going to be having freebies that are related to the Line Dot Arrow kit Cozy Christmas that they donated for the collaborators to use. So if you want to pick up the Cozy Christmas kit, half of it's at Line Dot Arrow, half of it's at Nonstop Paper Crafts. Okay, it was a collaboration effort. So there's a kit at Line Dot Arrow and an add-on at Line Dot Arrow, a Cozy Christmas kit at Nonstop Paper Crafts, and an add-on at Nonstop Paper Crafts. And then the freebies that we're going to be giving out, the Christmas papers, which will be able to be used in almost any Christmas project, are going to be related to the Cozy Christmas kit from Line Dot Arrow, and there'll be one set of freebies every week for, I believe, the 3 weeks up until that last weekend in July. Okay? All right, so that's that. I tried to get that done quick, and then I ended up getting off on a tangent, didn't I? Okay, real quick, I got all the papers trimmed. This is what I did. I sorted them repeating patterns, collages, not really sure. Could be either, could be a book page, and book pages. Now the book pages, we're probably going to have to print some of them again because we're going to be using some of them as writing cards. Okay? And we're not going to decorate our book. We're not going to have time. We're just going to make the book, put it in the Lapbook, and it will be with elastics and eyelets, so you'll be able to just pull the book out and decorate it and then just put it right back in. Okay? So now we're going to finish this last little section. I saved one section so I could show you. It's turned out really well. I saved this little section to show you. I've got all these other centerpieces done and scored. So now I ended up cutting these at Oz 3. He's so silly. He's barking at nothing, I know. All right, so I ended up making these 7 1/4 inches long. Then you measure, this one's 1 1/2, so this is 3 1/2 inches wide. Then all we're going to do, can't enunciate this morning. I've been up a long time. I think 11:30 last night is when I woke up. So we're going to glue this down over the spine. You don't want to get any extra glue around, so even though I'm gluing it on the cover, I'm gluing it over the top of the cardboard parts in case I make a mistake. Then it won't hurt anything. Except you do want to keep the front of this clean. So you do want to be careful. My sweater's getting in the way already. I know, it's May. Yes, I'm making it this far ahead. Oops. And then we want to make sure to get the center because we don't want this to come loose and bubble up in the center. So you do need to get the center on these pieces. Okay. So we're going to turn it over and you're going to center it top and bottom and left and right, right over the spine. And then you're going to smooth it out. Try not to get your ring on it because this black paper, it will rub. Get that, I got glue gushing out. See if I can get it to roll up, come off. I did there. I didn't catch it in time there. Okay, so you want to make sure it sticks in the center because when you fold it up, you don't want this part to bubble up and around. Okay. Then you're going to take your bone folder. And you're going to start where your crease already is. You're going to go straight down. The nice thing about using that tool to separate these covers is that it's the exact same width as this bone folder. And this is the most commonly used one. Get it on Amazon for a couple bucks. Okay, so you're going to start right there where that is. You're just going to go straight up in that groove. And go up and down a few times. Do not use the point. It'll tear your paper and then you'll be very, very sad. I think I would have made this spine a little bit narrower if I were to do it again, which I might. This is a pretty sweet layout, I think. Make sure the glue stays. And I'm going to take my glue eraser and get rid of any overflow that I had down here or up here, but I didn't have any up there. I just had some down here in these corners. So we'll get rid of that because you'll be able to see this. So, and I made the book cover a little big, top to bottom. So there's going to be a little bit of an extra black area on the top and the bottom. Okay, so that's that. So now we're going to start at this end. This is how it's going to fold up. It's going to fold like this. Then the whole thing, this is going to be where our book is, our spine for our book. Our book is going to be right here. Then that's going to fold up to our 2-inch spine. Then the whole thing is going to fold over, and that's going to be like your regular lap book. Then this is going to fold up, and then both of these are going to fold up just like a regular lap book. Yay, it worked. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we've got this section, and this is a 1.5-inch spine. So we have 3/4 of an inch that we can build up on either part of these. Now I want to start on the largest one. Yes, the largest one. We'll do something on this in just a minute. So we're not going to do these in order. We're not going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many we have. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We're going to have 5 sections, but 2 of them are the cover of the book. So, yeah, I think I decided to do this one first because of my measurements. Let me look at what I wrote down. I haven't made the PDF for this yet, but I'm going to. It's going to be 5 3/8 by 7.5. So that's going to be that's our 5 5/8. That can't be right. This is 5 7/8. So we're going to make it let's see. Let's take one of our papers. That we're going to be using. I took the wrong paper clip off. Let's fold it in half. I printed on the back. I selected 4 or 5 pages from oh my gosh, I know what it is. It's another kit by Line Dot Arrow. December to Remember as backing pages because they were lighter than anything that was in the Cozy Christmas. Okay, so I did that, and I had a bunch of pages. I counted how many I had. I counted, you know, the 5 of these that I had that I thought I could write on with a black pen, and then I just did the division and figured it out. I did it differently with the book pages, but that's because they're book pages. And then I realized I probably won't be using them as book pages. Okay. And then the black paper is going to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, see, that's too big for there. So we want to add 1/4 to this, and then that should fit in here. So that's 5 1/4. So 5 1/2 is what we want our paper to be. I thought it was going to come out 3/8. No matter. So 5 1/2 and 5 1/2 is 11. So we're going to take one of these, remember, and we're going to cut it down in height. I'm going to do that to several of these, just so we need the black paper to be 7 3/4 inches tall. So let's do that on these several pages. Okay, so now that's the right height for that. Gives us a little bit. I wish I'd have left it a little bit taller. No, that looks like it'll be fine. So then this first one, we're going to fold it in half. We're going to fold it, it's on this side of this big spine, and we want it to open towards the inside. So we're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to measure it against the spine, against the book, just to double check and make sure. This paper's kind of funny, so you're going to have to use your bone folder on it. Yeah, that'll fit in there fine. I'm going to get out my other bone folder that has a flat side. This one's Teflon. I got it on Amazon. It was a little bit more. I think it was like $7. A little bit more than your average bone folder. And then the next page that we're going to do move this out of the way. Whoa. Is going to be going back this way. Okay. So we're going to fold it we want it to be a little bit smaller. Or do we want the first one to be a little bit smaller? Do we want two the same? Well, they won't be because we're going to fold a half in to glue it. So let's fold it in half and cut it. And you're probably going to need your white pencil. I know it seems odd using all this black for Christmas, but I promise you it'll look good. When we start adding the gold and the red, it'll look nice. So let's set these aside for right now. We'll paper clip them together. They've already been trimmed down. Okay, and then we're going to score this one. Get this stuff out of the way. 1/2. Let's do it at 3/8. No, let's do it at 1/2 to keep our measurements. Well, it doesn't matter because, yes, it does. So the first one's going to be 5.5. This one's going to be 5. Okay, and we're going to glue that on to the open edge to the top. You want to glue it fairly well because it's going to be holding everything together. But you don't want glue to gush out everywhere, which I think this might. Then you're going to line it up with this open edge, with this top piece, folded back so that it's open on the opposite side. So instead of hooking it under, we're laying it on top. Darn it. Doesn't that look straight? And see, we have seepage here, so we're going to have to erase all that glue. And now we're going to make this, we have to make it a little bit thicker than we, or higher, taller than we normally do. Because I made that end spine 1.5 inches. So we're going to, let's see, first we're going to use the bone folder. Okay. Whoops. marking the tops, and then glue to book. Okay, so let's trying to think if I want to do one more this way and make a pocket. Because that would be a full piece folded in half. Well, not in half. It would be a full piece folded here. And then the edge trimmed. So let's get our scoreboard out again to make it easier. And we'll fold it here. I'm going to trim this extra. I know it's hard to see the black paper, but we're going to trim this extra right here off. And then we're going to glue it on as a pocket on top of this. Looks like it's a little short. Maybe. I had to trim it a little bit because it was just a smidge crooked. So we want to glue it on 3 sides, with the folded side being the back, or the long side that's glued. Let me try that again. Where's that air bubble? There it goes. Okay, string, and then we're going to glue it on here as a pocket. I just got glue on it, glue on my hand. Goodness. Glue went everywhere, didn't it? Oozed out the edge of the pocket. Have to go through and clean all that up. Okay. Okay, and then the pocket here. Okay. Now we're going to go back the other way. So if we fold this a 1/2 inch, will that be right? It's 5 inches. That's 5 1/2. So we cut 1/2 off. It's still going to be the same width. I mean, fold in half. Oh, it doesn't look like it is to me. Let's score it at 1/2 and see. We can always trim paper off, can't we? Now remember, we're going to have to go back and clean this glue off of here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to make it go back this way this time. I'm not going to do the same thing and make a pocket, but we're going to do the same thing and make it go back like we did here. Okay. Nope, that is the same size. So we want to cut. We want to cut 1/4 or 1/2. 1/4. Might have been closer to 1/2. Not really. Okay, and then we're going to glue it and try not to get so glue happy this time. It's kind of hard. I completely filled up my bottle. Used up 1/2 to 2/3 of the bottle putting the cover and everything together, putting the book together. The cover, I mean, you know. Okay. Did I bone folder this? I think I did, but it's still kind of sticking up. We're going to have to put magnets on these. There we go, that's better. It's just so hard to see the edges with the black. That was very crooked. It looked straight at first, but then when I got looking at it, then I realized it was very crooked. This time I'm going to put a little smear at each end so I can slide it around better. Maybe doing it this way will be better. I swear to you, all of these look crooked from the beginning. It's all right. Then we're probably going to do one more on top of this, but let's go ahead. We're going to build from the back instead of from the front down. We're going to build from the back to the front, and that way we can, you mainly just want to make sure that there's no glue where you're going to see it. There's going to be paper right here, but there's not right here. So just go back and kind of clean it up. Where's this pocket? Oh, that's the white chalk mark. I was like, that's really white for glue. Yeah, you can see where that's a little crooked. That's probably what made the rest of it look crooked. Okay, all right, so let's start back here. You know what we should do? We should put the page magnets on. I'm gonna need more magnets before we get done doing this. And all these are going to do is hold these pages. You know what? I did this last time and it didn't work. And you know why? Because the stuff got built up on the page too thick. And I ended up wasting all the magnets. Because I know on here that's exactly what will happen. So we'll save this magnet for the envelope that I know is coming. It's going to need a magnet. Okay. So on this side, we're going to do this. We're not going to get it all done in this video because we did the assembly and we did that part of the frame. So, I mean the cover. So this side is going to be our paper. That's going to be on the back. And then we'll have a acetate belly band or pocket or something. This is going to be the front of the black envelope. So we're going to fold this in half. And then make our little pinch. Open it up. Make our pencil mark where the crease is, because otherwise we would never see it. And then cut the paper in half. We need to double check that this is the right size. It should be. For the paper. Do we so carefully measured everything? Oh, hold on. Time to take my medicine. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold for a second and go do that. Okay, so while we were on pause, I went ahead and inked this, and I don't even know if you can tell or not that I inked it in black, but look, it just kind of makes the colors come out a little bit. It doesn't look over heavily handed because I barely inked it, just enough to get the white off the edge and leave a little bit of a black edge around. It's like a frame. It's like putting a lighter colored picture in a black frame. And it just kind of makes it come out. I like it. Whether you do or not is irrelevant. I'm kidding. I hope you like it. All right, let's mark this as the paper again, just so I don't get confused and cut it or something. Then we're going to use these two to cover the front and the back, because we're going to put a pretty good size window here, so you're not going to see a lot of this. I'm going to turn it over because it's easier to it actually kind of looks better as the window, maybe. No, I wanted this pattern, but I might use this on the back instead of this. So I was going to make them match and then put a pocket. Okay. Or a belly band or something. That's weird. Okay, well, it isn't enough to notice. It's crooked. The top is crooked. I mean, I noticed that it was crooked anyway. Okay, so now I want this to go like that. So this is going to be the top. This is going to stick out on the left. Okay. And this is the top. What are you doing over there, buddy? So where they're trying to walk through paper bags, looking for paper scraps, got nothing else better to do because he's a dog. Funny how that works, isn't it? Nothing else better to do because he's a dog. Can just walk around looking for paper scraps. Really don't need to put that much glue on the corners. It's going to get squished out in the big shot when we make the window. And we're going to cut this side off. So let's make sure this side is super straight. And this side is straight, but a little bit of a gap. So let's take this apart, or do we need to? I inked it in black, and it was just easier to just do the width like this instead of, you know, just the little bit that we needed and getting black ink everywhere, because the black soot is just notoriously messy. I think I'm going to use one of these. Still has that little attachment on there. Let me get my pliers. That little piece where it's was attached to the other piece that was nested inside of it, called nesting die. Okay. Let's see. If we put it closer to the top, then we can put a little something underneath, and I think that would look nice. So let's turn it over. And we'll use the washi tape to stick it. Then we'll open the envelope. That won't work. We have to do it from the inside. So let's do it at the top. I'm trying to do it without opening the envelope. Well, it's easier to put the acetate on if it's open anyway, though. So let's see how easy it is to open one of these. For God's sake. So this is the top. We want to cut towards the paper. We'll leave enough room to put the acetate on. Okay. And just fold it back up. It's going to wiggle the camera, make a big noise. Or not. A little less noisy than usual, but about as jiggly. Big shot's pretty good sized. We're going to have a nice card that we can write on. There we go. So there we have that card that we can keep. And we've got this window. This die back in here. Ink this. I try not to ink it very thick because the edges of the everything else are not inked real smudgy. And then I'll cut and glue the acetate in. And then when we come back, all we have to do is the rest. Acetate's easy. Just cut a piece big enough to cover the window and glue it on. Okay? That's your homework for next time. And I will see you in the next video. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.